Okay, good evening once more, and let's dive into our tonight's topic. This night we are going to look at different deliverables in project management, documentation uh, within different deliverables in project management. So that is what we are going to look at. Last time we treated project full project life cycle. So by now we should be able to understand stages, the life stages of a project. So understanding the life stages is good, but we need to understand what are we going to do at every stage of the project. We have a lot of deliverables. So these are a lot of deliverables within projects. So we have to start looking at them one by one. By the time you know how to produce this document, then you can start thinking of attaching project manager to your name. So project management involves the creation and management of various documents and deliverables throughout the project lifecycle. So, and list of common project management deliverables are what we are going to. There are so many of them, but key ones, major, we have so many documentation in different projects, but we are going to concentrate on major or the vital ones. Like we know we have something like extreme programming, where some people manage their projects using even Six Sigma. But we're going to understand key ones, like most of the deliverables within waterfall and agile project management. The first one we're going to start is the project charter. We're starting from project charter because project charter is very, very important in a project. It's a document that authorizes the project manager to start spending, to start it officially kickstart the project. So many people don't use it. More especially, I've been in private companies, so they always start projects, but it's very, very important, more especially if you are working in public sectors. When I say public sectors, in government environment, government agencies, parastatals, and things like that. Globally, it's very, very important because it gives you the authorization as a project manager. As a project manager is the leader of a project. And this document gives you authorization to start the project. If there is any resources within the project, you can start spending or using the resources in order to achieve the project objective. So this document formally authorize the existence of the project, outline its objectives, scope, project stakeholders, and high-level timeline. So this is how the document looks like. It looks simple, but it's a very powerful document. Here, you need to capture the problem statement. Problem statement is what are the problems. Most of the projects we're working on, we are trying to solve either one problem or the other. So what are the problems maybe the organization is facing, you're trying to solve? And then you have to state the goal. What do you plan? What is the goal you plan to achieve? So here you need to state the project goals. Then here is the project leader. We know that the project leader, don't get yourself confused about stakeholders, and the project manager is the project leader. So the stakeholder, like the project sponsor, is not the leader. He owns the project, but you are the one that is leading the project as a project manager. You are accountable. If anything goes wrong, a lot of people might go free, but you are not going free because you are the project manager. If there is any misappropriation of fund, business analyst might go free, developer might go free, but you see yourself as a project manager, you might go to prison. So, because you are the leader, you are accountable, everything rests on your head. You know, some people might be carrying the project on their shoulder, but you are carrying it on their head. So if those carrying it on their shoulder, it becomes heavy, they can just remove their shoulder. But you are the leader. You can't. So that is why it is very, very important to have a document like this. It helps to protect you as a project manager. So the importance of this thing is that it gives you authority. If you know what you are doing in project management, you don't play with this document because it's one document that is protecting you. When things goes wrong, everybody knows that project is all about risk. A lot of risk in project. You are managing risk. As a matter of fact, what you've come there to manage is risk. Managing a lot of risk in project. And they believe in you because you have demonstrated that you can manage this risk anyway. But there are some risks that are maybe unforeseen circumstances or things like that. You cannot, you know, manage, or you cannot dodge, or you cannot transfer. Some of these risks, if you don't have proper documentation, then nobody cares because they believe you know what you are doing. They believe you are qualified to do the job. So you have to face the punishment or the penalty. But if you know what you are doing, then you must have a document like this called project charter. That when they say, why did you spend this kind of money? You have the authorization to spend the money within your discretion. They trust you to do that, to manage it. So this is why we need to have document called project charter. So we have team members here, project team. You need to state the project team members. You need to state their roles and support personnel, and you need to state the project scope here. You need to state the project deliverable here. You need to state the project start date and expected completion time. You need to create all the milestones within the project and the date of every milestone. And then you need to create provision for your signature and the sponsor's signature. Once your signature and the project sponsor signature is captured here, then it becomes a working document that authorizes you to lead that project. So these are documents, these are templates we have, which we are going to be making available. So like some of you, maybe some of you do not attend classes or workshop. It's very important. Even if you do not attend, try to watch. I've said that our documents will be, we don't share documents, so we can have, that's why we have course portal, so that everything is organized. We cannot be teaching people how to, what we are dealing here is teaching people how to manage project, how to do business digitally. We can't be teaching you how to digitalize your business, and we are working, sharing documents in analog manner, so we don't do that. No matter how you need it urgently, we've said we are going to address these things. So every of our course portal, we have it in our central course portal where everybody can access it. Is there anybody, as long as you are part of this project, which is this training, you have access to some of these documents, templates, like this project charter templates. All these things are some of the things you are going to be accessing. So, but you don't need to be faster than a shadow. Calm down, you're gonna receive everything. So that is it. That is about project charter. That is a document we need to produce. This is the template. We are going to have it because in our various projects we are going to implement, we are going to be using them. So then we have what we call work breakdown structure. This is a breakdown of the project deliverables, outlining all the work needed in a hierarchical order. Think of a blueprint focusing on the need to be done. So when you are starting a project, you need to break your work down. Project is a high level, you can call it an epic, a high level requirement that need to be broken down. This is what the stakeholders want. They want you to implement an enterprise resource planning for them. That is a project. It's very high. You can't just, so for you to achieve that, you need to break them down into various stages where you need to capture relevant requirements, analyze those requirements, do documentation, and from there you start designing the solution. And after designing the solution, you start implementing the solution. And after implementing the solution, then you close the project. These are various stages. You need to break them down into these stages. That's what we call project breakdown structure. So looking at this image here, or this diagram here, this is a commercial project. Under this commercial project, you see it's broken down into 5 major stages here. So each stage I've got other deliverable things you need to achieve within every stage. It will help you to know what to do. Makes your job so simple for you. If you do not break your work down like this, you might start from closure stage of your project, and that is, hurting yourself because you need to plan. A project manager is a very good planner. You plan very extensively, you plan very well. And the only way you can plan is, this is the easiest way you can plan your project. It makes things easy. You know what to do at every point. That is the key of you becoming this is a blueprint of what you need to do. Once you have the blueprint, it's very easy. Some people are now asking me, Charles, I know you're always having so many projects. How do you manage all these projects? You do this, you do that, you have classes, this and that. It's very simple. Break your work into stages. Break your activities into, I break them, it's not the program I have, I break them into stages. Like now, this training or this boot camp is a program. Under this program, we have so many projects under this program called their boot camp. We plan to achieve in 3 months. The first project is this, to give you a training. Then the second project is to put you on internship. And within that internship, we still have 2 projects there. So we still break them down. First project, second project. And these are the things. But if I don't plan it, looking at the timeline involved, trying to achieve this within my timeline, it's going to be difficult for me. So that's why I break them down. And after breaking them down, it becomes very easy for me to manage them. looking, my eyes will always be on the timeline and looking at the amount of work. So I break them down to fit in, making sure that everything fitting within the time I have. So looking at this diagram, you see under initiation, we have evaluation and charter. Under planning, we have scope statements, team members, plan schedule, budget. Under execution, you see lay foundation, excavate, pour concrete, interior work, electrical, plumbing, exterior, finishing. Under control, resource management, cost management, risk management. Under closure, audit, site cleanup, and document handover. So this is a kind of civil engineering project breakdown structure. And you see, it's very, very neat. So if you break this work down like this, it's not going to be difficult for you. Okay, let me show you this. Okay, so you see the project, the way this work is broken down. If we don't break this down, this is the work the other team they are working on. This is what they are really working on at this moment. Their first project is broken down into various stages which they are working on, and it makes sense that you see activities. With this, they can easily convert this into a project plan, but this is a breakdown structure. So this is stages. You see phases here. We're breaking them under mobilization, recruitment, marketing, reporting, closure. So this is their first project. So once they finish this one, they will jump into another project, which is CRM implementation. So this is how a breakdown, I created this breakdown, or we created this breakdown using Excel or spreadsheets to do this. So you can equally use UML. This one is created using a UML. You can use VCO to create it. This is a picture. Use a diagram to create this. So whichever one, but we are coming to this, where when we start working on tools in project, we are going to start seeing how to do this thing using tools. We're going to create all these things. So don't worry about it. So we are just discussing the documents. We are not creating it at the moment. So this is another breakdown structure. You see preparation, planning, development, prepared, release, and release. So you see, this is what we call breakdown. You break your work down, and we have main categories, and in each main category we have subcategories. Subcategories are various tasks you need to perform under stages. So that is it. This is this after project charter, which authorizes you to start the project. The next thing is to break your project down into project breakdown structure like this. And then we have project management plan. Some people do confuse themselves with project breakdown structure and project management plan. Project breakdown structure is the blueprint. It's like a skeleton. You know, it's just a skeleton. But the plan is the full body of the project. Now you add both resources, how much it's going to take to perform every activity, the amount of time, who is going to do that, everything. That is how you do that. So, but you start from a breakdown structure becomes your foundation to create this project plan. So this is the roadmap for completing the project on time and within the budget. It uses the work breakdown structure as a foundation, a comprehensive document that outlines how the project will be executed, monitored, controlled, and closed. It includes details of scope, schedule, budget, quality, resources, communication, risk management, and stakeholder management plan. It focuses on how the work will be done. So that is project plan. A good project plan is going to look somehow like this. That is a project plan. Looking at this project plan, this is from Microsoft project. It's one of the main popular project management software or project management planner. But we have others like Project Libre, which this is very costly. So that's why I have to navigate to another app, which I don't want you people to start spending a ridiculous amount of money in order to get this. It costs you like almost £400 or $400 to get this for. Is it for 1 year? Yeah, which has a lot of money, which I know some of you might not be able to afford it. But don't worry, we have alternative. We always have a way, you know. So we have Project Libre, which does exactly everything Microsoft project does. We have Oracle Primavera. Almost big companies, they have their own project management software. But this one is for Microsoft Corporation. Then Oracle Primavera is from Oracle. But Project Libre is from a group of happy developers who came together and developed this for us to use for free. It's a lot to give out for free, you know, just like draw.io. So these free stuff, these are what we're going to be using to achieve something big. So that is it. So very soon you'll be required to create all this. Don't worry about creating it for now because I will create it myself. You'll be seeing me when I'll be creating a project plan using this. We're going, like I said, we're going to use Project Libre. So by the time I finish doing it, you'll see how I did it. And then you'll be required to do your own. Then we'll have Gantt chart. Gantt chart is a visual representation of project schedule showing tasks, dependencies, duration, and milestone. In project plan, you already, more especially if you are using all these big softwares, they will show you, you will use it to create a project plan and create a Gantt chart at the same time. This is the Gantt chart of this project plan. In Microsoft, once you started creating a project plan, the Gantt chart will start showing. In Project Libre as well, once you start creating a project plan, the Gantt chart will start showing as well. So this is the Gantt chart. So, and another way, this is how Gantt chart looks as well. This is a project plan. You are planning your project. This is a project becoming, you start converting breakdown structure into a plan when you start adding the duration for every task, you start adding the cost to perform that, you start adding resources like project manager, business analyst who is going to do that. That is when it becomes a plan. And once you start creating it, you start seeing this diagram like this. These diagrams, This is what we call Gantt chart. You see here, this Gantt chart is showing you that this work will start from October and end December. This Gantt chart is telling you that this task will start from October and end on November. This Gantt chart is telling you that this will end within just this particular small task here will just end on October, and this one as well. So this is the way you can use the Gantt chart. Gantt chart is just to help you visualize your project. There's nothing much there about Gantt chart. So a lot of people don't use it because it's just a way of decorating your project plan, making you have more visible of the project plan. So the Gantt chart is not a big deal because once this is Gantt chart in all this, you see it's showing the amount of time, but it's just like a graph. So once you start using a project planner like Oracle Primavera or Microsoft Project or Project Lever, all of them comes with automatic Gantt charts. So then we have another document called Risk Register. Once you finish creating a project plan, at the point you are finishing this, you know that, like I said, what you are managing is risk. Project is big risk because any mistake you make within that project after planning, every mistake you make becomes a risk for you. Looking at this project here, you want to achieve this, you see the duration, you already see this particular task name here, you want to achieve it within 10 days. Good. After 10 days, and you do not achieve this, that is a big risk for you because you are not going to start the second task here if you do not finish this. So these are some of the things we are going to understand what we call, but we are coming to that, critical path analysis, critical path areas. So you need to understand these are where the risk lies. So after planning, you have is a risk. The plan is all about risk. Anything you miss here is a risk of timeline. And once you miss your timeline, the punishment is that you are going to spend more money. And if you have budgeted a certain amount of money, even if you have a buffer, you start eating into your buffer. If you do not have a buffer, then you are already going into what we call project creep, creeping out of your scope. That's what I mean, scope creep. So you can creep out of your budget, you can creep out of your timeline, and this is not good for you as a project manager. It's going to bring bad reputation for you. So that brings us to risk management. So when you see a situation that is going to lead you into this unwanted environment, then you have to start documenting them. You have to continuously identifying them. As a matter of fact, every day you must, as a project manager, your eyes should be out for risk every day. Risk can come from your stakeholders, risk can come from your team members, risk can come from just conflict within team members. And once the things like that, you might not be able to achieve what you said. So you have to, be proactive. That is, risk management is being proactive because it's still a risk. You can still avert that risk. You can still divert the risk. You can still, transfer the risk, or you can manage the risk, or even, face the risk. The risk is not an issue. It has not happened. Risk is something that is not good that is about to happen to your project, that might derail your project from the original destination. So that is risk. So we have what we call risk register. Risk register is a document that identifies, assesses, and tracks project risk along with mitigation strategies and contingency plan. So this is how a simple risk register will just look like. Something like this, where here is a risk description. When you capture, you describe the risk, the impact of the risk, the impact, you describe the impact level, probability level, and priority level, mitigation note, and owners, who is owning the risk. This is a simple risk register. But in most of my projects, I don't use this simple risk register. I use a document called RAID log, which is a more elaborate document to capture it. Because you can see this is just to capture risk alone. But risk is not the only thing that is affecting a project. We have other things that is affecting a project, and even the risk that has happened. So we have document like this. This is our RAID log. The RAID log will help you to capture not only risk, you capture issues as well, capture assumptions as well. So that's what we call it RAID. RAID here is issue, assumption, issue, and dependency. That's the full meaning of RAID. And this is a log. A log is a book where you log all these incidents happening in a project, like risk is an incident, assumptions, issue is a risk that is already happened. Dependencies are when two items are dependent, or two activities are depending on one another. So these are areas where risk can come from. So you capture them. Once you capture them, you decide what it is, if it's a risk. Then here you describe the item you captured, and you describe the impact. You assign the owner, you assign the priority here, and then you assign the risk number, and then the status of the risk. So whether it's open or it's closed. Whenever you manage and close a risk, you close it. You don't remember, but you need to leave it open if it's not resolved. So this is what we call RAID log. It's very, very important. As a project manager, you must know how to use RAID log. This is RAID dashboard. So this is how the dashboard looks like. And you can see here, under this dashboard, from here you see all the risk here, which you capture. We'll have a template we are going to use to do that. This template, you are going to have access to all of them. This is our template. So every template you have here is something you can access. So this is where we capture the risk, and this is where we capture all the assumptions. So looking at the dashboard, this is in we have this template in Excel sheet, Excel document. So this is an Excel document, but we've created a good dashboard of this. So looking at risk now, you see one critical risk, one high risk, 0 moderate risk, 0 low risk, and 0 negligible risk. And then totally we have 2 risks, a total of 2 risks here. So you see what the dashboard gives you. So once you look at the dashboard will help you to understand how healthy your project is looking like. When you come here and you see all the risk, most everything here is uncritical. You should know that there is a situation you need to buckle up. Assumption here, you see critical, high, moderate, you see all the assumptions, then you see all the issues, you see all the dependencies, and totally you see all the danger you have within this project and need to address. So this is it. That is another document we need to have a good look at. So another document is stakeholder register. But we are not going into stakeholder register this night because it needs to come with, we have a lot to talk about stakeholder in this document. You have a lot. It's not something we can finish in just like 20 to 30 minutes when there's a lot to talk about it. So we have so a lot I need to let us know about stakeholder analysis document. So that is it. And we'll try as much as we can because these documentations are very important. Once as a matter of fact, what you come here to learn is how to produce these documents. If you know how to produce these documents, you are a project manager. That is the main thing you are here. Producing it at the right time. So following a full project life cycle and producing quality documents like this at every point they are required. This is what makes you a project manager. So we've covered 5 items for tonight, and tomorrow we'll continue from stakeholder register or stakeholder analysis. So that is what we've got for tonight. So, and we'll have, this is 8 p.m. So we'll have 30 minutes. However, once it's 7:30, then I have to leave you guys because of other class I have. So that's it. So we can see gradually we are beginning to creep into what we are here to do. And before you know it, we are done and we will jump into our first project. So you can start producing your first project charter, producing your read log, producing your project plan, and producing your breakdown structure. So that's it. And who is going to be the first person? Mercy, your hand is still up. So I don't know if you still have questions, but you raise your hand, you don't bring it down. Okay, I think it's still the old hand that I will lower it now. We have Jane Ezekwe. I think Jane don't know that the hand
Yeah,
is.
I have it.
So why?
I have no, I know. I actually raised up my hand after your introduction, like when you were talking about the
Give us
business
your question.
opportunity.
Your question, please.
Okay. So the business opportunity you were talking about, I was actually asking if like I would like to know what the requirement is for one to become, a business partner for that opportunity that you talked
Oh,
about,
okay,
you
we'll talk
know.
about this one privately. Contact me privately so that we don't have to start talking about business while we will be answering questions about our project documentation.
All right, no problem. I'll contact you privately. Thank you.
All right. I'll have Chisom Sylvia.
Good evening. So please, I just wanted to be sure of what I'm project charter. Can I as well say that it's the PID, the project initiation document? Because I'm actually studying for project management now, and although they are very similar, but some of the terminologies are quite different. So I just want to be sure that it's the same thing, so I can just bring transition.
PID is normally being produced by business analysts, you know, and project charter is produced by the project manager. So it's different documents, you know. So some people call there's a lot of time like when I said there's a lot of terminologies, but I have to streamline it. So some people want we call business case PID, you know. PID is a project initiation document. Some call it project strategy document. Depends on what you call it. But it mainly talk about requirements from business analysts. Business analysts need to come up with a document after stakeholder analysis, after requirement gathering, requirement analysis, and a lot of requirement, and all the analysis, you come up with document of requirement that is required in that project. And this is happen within the initiate stage. So it's somehow a way of summarizing all your feasibility studies within the initial stage, or this can call it initial stage or discovery stage. What you discovered, so call it PID, is different from project charter. Is project charter. It doesn't have any other name. It's called project charter.
Okay. I don't know. I just know the reason why I was confused is I made a PID as part of my project work in school, and in that, why I'm asking is because some of the things in the project charter are also present in the PID from what I'm saying, because I got to do like the stakeholder analysis, the communication plan, risk assessment register, and
Are you planning it as a project manager?
no, that's the thing. That's why I'm confused. We did it.
No,
I'm
no, I
studying
asked
project
you a
management.
question. Are you
We did
planning
it
it?
as
Are you
project.
capturing it as a project manager as what?
We did it as project managers
I
because
say not we. Is it project manager doc? Because we means project team. And project
you,
team, everybody have what they are doing. We have business analysts. Is it a team of project managers? Or is it a
so
project team? You are working on a project?
it's like, okay, because it's a school course. So the way it was done, we were paired into five in a group, and then your assessment for the course is to create a PID document that would encompass everything, the risk register, the so that's what I want to understand, that in creating it, does it mean we did it as business analysts or as project managers? Because from what you're saying, and you're saying it's it's business a business analyst job to do that. But we got to do that under the umbrella of project management. That's why it's confusing
That's
for me.
why I'm saying in project management, we have business analysts. Everybody is doing their own role in project management. Business analysts in project management, they have what they are doing in project. It's still project management, but they have deliverables they are producing. And project manager have their own deliverables they are producing. So PID is not a project charter. And if you have created everything you created and you don't have a project charter, it's wrong.
Okay. Thank you very much.
All right. For Alex.
Good evening, Mr. Charles. Good evening, everyone. I really appreciate the presentation. My question goes to the red dashboard. The dashboard you just showed before we ran up. I'm a bit not too clear. On the columns, you have risk, then issues, assumption, dependency. And under the column, there are critical, high, low, then also figures. So how do we know the one to assign, like those figures in the chart? Then the issue you have to assign critical, high, low. So I'm a bit not too clear about that, sir.
Okay. On that, let me show that again so we can look at it and okay. This is not where you do it. This is a dashboard. So everything you are doing within your red log is reporting on the dashboard. So, and this is where you actually create. Now, this is the red log. Under red log here, let me see if I've got my live, if I can access a live red log. Okay. This is a live. Can you see this now?
Yes.
This is a live red log. This is the dashboard. But this, you can see we have two pages here. This is the actual red log. This is how it is. So if you want to, under here is red category. Like I've told you, the meaning of red. Red is we have risk, we have assumptions, I is issue, and D is dependency. So now you want to create a RAID. You must categorize because RAID is not one item. RAID is 4 items. So you must state which item of the RAID you want to create. Is it issue? You see it here. You can select which one you want to select. Like now, this is issue. And here is issue. Here is description. This issue here, you describe what is the issue, rain, and what is the impact. When it's raining in an event, is disorganized event. And then who is the owner here? You can choose a name from their project team. You are the project manager. You assign it whoever you feel that has the capacity to handle this particular issue. You assign the issue to the person. That is how you create. Then priority. You know, within your as a project manager, you should know how to choose, prioritize every based on your assessment and brainstorming. Then you assign, if it's critical, critical is it has the capacity to disrupt everything that is happening. what I mean critical is a severe situation. And then you have to decide the risk probability number within 1 to 5. You need to decide. You know, there is no stated, so you sign it based on the high. If you're choosing, like for instance, between 1 to 50 or within 1 to 5, it's just like a scale from 0 or 0 to 5. The scale means that 0 is the least and 5 is the strongest or the highest. You know, so you have to choose. For risk, when we're talking about, you see here, is only you do that for risk alone, not for everything. And then once you capture that, you come here and assign whether it's open or closed. If you have not found a solution, it will remain open. So this person, Anastasia, will be the person that will lead the team that will decide on how to solve this problem or how to mitigate on this problem, look for solution to mitigate this. So you can assign different risks to different team members. So everything will not be on your head as a project manager. So all you need to do is you keep monitoring how this is being resolved, and that is it. We are actually coming to all this as techniques in project management. So here is just to look at the documents need to capture. So when we're trying to look at various techniques in project management, that's we plan to look at all these things technically. So that's why I do not go deep into creating a RAID for us. So once you capture this, you see here is one issue. If you go to your dashboard, all you will see in your dashboard is one issue, because this is what you captured here, one issue. You are not going to see any other thing. You are not going to see any risk, any assumption. You are not going to see any dependency. So, but if you capture, like for instance, let's just capture risk and see anything here. Let's say maybe rain again. So if you go to your dashboard, you are going to see two items now. You are going to see one issue and you are going to see one risk. And then if you capture this as, let's say, high risk, you are going under high, you are going to see one item. So let's look at our RAID dashboard. Looking at our RAID dashboard, and you see this is less. The risk is not showing because we didn't capture everything about risk. But you can see everything is based on what you captured here. So these two documents is synchronized. It just to show you visibility of what is happening in your risk. So that is the main thing for this dashboard. You are not the one, you are not creating anything in dashboard. You don't add anything. It's built to show to, if you know what dashboard it means, it's just where you see what is happening. You are not the one adding any item. So dashboard captures information from the back end. And this is the back end. This is the RAID log. So once we capture everything here, because we didn't capture everything full here. Once we capture everything here, so we will see it. And this is open as well. So let's look at our dashboard. You see now we have one risk now because we captured a risk now. To have high risk, we have one critical issue. So this dashboard is a front end. I just show you for visibility purposes. And you are not the one, you don't create from front end. Everything is being, it pulls data from, it is reporting data from the back end. And the back end is this. So if you are into data analysis or this, you should be able to understand this. So that is it. Are you clear now?
Yes, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Thank you.
Okay. Okay, we'll have Nana Linda.
Hello, sir. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. Good evening, sir. Good evening, everyone. So my question is, I just wanted to ask this question now, so it doesn't skip my head when we start the BA one. So we know that we have different type of projects. We
Be
have
audible, please.
construction.
Loud, be audible so we can hear what you're saying.
Okay. Is it clear now?
Yes.
Okay, so I was saying that we know we have different types of projects. You know, we have construction, we have procurement, we even have event management projects. So, and you said that in every project there are, you know, different people that play different roles. So does it mean that in every project there should be a BA? Because I've been in projects like construction and procurement projects, and we didn't have any BA, and the projects were done successfully. So is it only IT related projects that need a business analyst, or basically every project needs a business analyst?
Well, it depends on what the program manager wants. Mostly in construction, the project engineer almost doing the same thing the BA is doing. The engineer is not the project manager, only if the engineer is doing everything. The engineer designs the project, isn't it? I'm asking you. Hello?
I think she lost her network. She's
I think
offline.
she's
Okay,
offline now.
okay. On that, a project engineer, the project engineer is the person that designs the project. And that's why we say that a BA is a software engineer. Just like a civil engineer is a construction engineer. We have mechanical engineer. All of us are engineers. So BAs are mainly at the technical level, are those civil engineers. You know, that is what they are
Jesus, I
doing.
can't hear anything. Oh my goodness.
So Linda, you can hear the recorded version later because we are responding to your question. So if you don't have at that level, maybe at the level you join the project, you only see the civil engineer. He's the civil engineer. Then he's doing the job of a business analyst or a software engineer. But at the beginning, before that construction starts, somebody did the feasibility studies, why the construction must go on, where it should be sited, what the kind of building that should be built. Who does that? BA does that. All the analysis before the project starts. So it depends on where you join the project. You can join the project at implementation stage and you say you do not see the BA. By then, BA must have finished their job. You know, we have two types of BA. We have business analysts. We have technical business analysts. Technical business analysts are the business analyst that does the design. But business analysts, just Linda, you can put yourself on mute. Business analyst does the feasibility studies and come up with a business case. That business case states why, if it's a construction project, maybe building a house, then if for instance, let's say a bank is trying to build one of their branch in Port Harcourt, somebody need to do feasibility study, why the need for that branch, where to site it, all this analysis, where are they going to look to make sure that it's in a strategy, a lot of things, the kind of building that they need to build, and things like that. All those things, all the analysis is done by the BA. By the time maybe you join the project, they've already started laying the foundation and they hire you, because that is when they need you. Maybe they just hire you as the project coordinator to start assisting the project manager because the project manager is already overwhelmed. They hired you and you are looking for BA, and you cannot see BA. BA has finished, they finished their role and they've gone. So that is it. Is it understood now?
Yes, sir. Thank you very much.
So, yeah. But mainly in software engineering, you will see BA from beginning to the end. You know, they will always be there because they can wear different, once they finish their initial stage, which is business analysis, they will come into technical business analysis, where they start designing the solution. Then they start wearing the clothes of software engineers, and that is it. So, and like I said again, it depends on. I've been in a project where I am the only person. I am the project manager, I am the business analyst, and I am the developer. So everybody is the way they have a way. It doesn't work like mathematics. People look for what works for them, because making sure that they have the best out of whatever investment they are making. If they have one person who can do everything for them, they will just hire one person and save money. Okay, we have IKS.
Good evening, everybody. Okay, my question is on the deliverables you talked about and the documents. While you were discussing the project management plan, you made mention of Project Libra, Microsoft project, Oracle Premier. But I was a bit confused because I've been trying to see if I can get like the Microsoft projects on my system. I can't see it, so I don't know how we get all those ones. Is it going to be installed in the system? Because very soon, as you said, we'll start using them.
If you listen very well, I say that all these things are paid software. If you are looking for Microsoft projects in your system, then you should remember when you buy it and install it in your system. So if you do not pay for it and buy it and install in your system, why should you be looking for it in your system?
Okay.
Huh?
Okay.
Secondly, Project Labor is free, but you still need to download it and install it in your system. So all these things cannot be in your system. Well, if you buy a computer, all the softwares are not pre-installed in your computer. They are softwares. You have to download them, install them in your system before you can start using them. And some of them are paid. But I told you people that Project Labor is free and it gives you everything Microsoft will give you. And Microsoft is not free, it's paid. And it's around £400 to do that. But I decided to look for one that will save you cost. I equally told you that there's other softwares that are paid, like Visio, Business Analyst. Visio is a product of Microsoft. It's paid. For you to get it, you need to squeeze around £400 as well to get it installed in your system. But we have Draw.io that is free, can give you everything that gives you. That is some of the benefits you'll be getting, showing you all these good softwares you can use for free to train yourself and become whatever you want to be. So these are the things I said. So for now, you can't get all those things in your system. If you have enough money, you can buy Microsoft and install it in your system. But for now, I'm sure it's not in your system, because if you remember when you buy it, you should know when you install it. And it's not this thing. It can, even if you buy it, it can expire. Maybe after 1 year, you expire, you have to renew it. Once you don't renew it, you can't use it again. But this other free ones is always open for you to use. We call it free source and open source. Some of them are free source, some of the open source software you can use. Some of them you can use them for 1 month. Some of the Microsoft applications like Dynamics 365, some of them are free for 1 month for testing. So you can download it and use it for 1 month to see how it looks like. But some of these tools, like Microsoft projects, they are not giving it for free even for 1 day. So,
Okay, sir.
yeah. So, but don't worry, very soon you should be able to get Project Labor in your system, so you can use it the way you want it.
Okay.
We have IHOBA or IVOBA. Which one?
Good evening, Mr. Charles. It's Iwobi. It's called,
Iwobe.
pronounced Iwobi. Yes, yes. Thanks for the insightful class today. Although I have a question, I'm not quite clear about project charter. For the project charter, is it the project manager that actually fills the documents and also produces the documents? That's the project charter document. Is it the project manager that does this? And also, should you always insist on a project charter?
Like I said, if you listen very well, I said that I've been in so many projects that we didn't have project charter, but that is in private sectors where they just dive into project and do it back and go away, you know. But I say that is not the best practice. Like it says a must, so that's where that must comes in. Nobody decide for you what to do. You know the right thing to do. It's left for you to do the right thing or not to do the right thing while managing your project. Secondly, anybody can create a project charter. You know, project manager can create it, business analyst can create it, project coordinator can create it. It's a document. Project management office can create it for you. But the main thing is it must capture everything that needs to be there. And whoever created it must make provision where the project manager must sign. If you are the project manager and they want you to start a project without a project charter, you can quickly create a project charter and sign it, and then tell the project sponsor to countersign it, giving you the authority to lead that project. Because if anything happen in that project and there is no project charter, the project sponsor can deny you, did not ask you to start this project, you know. So, for instance, you see, during COVID-19 here in UK, a lot of projects were handled. Government doled out a lot of money for different projects. But after the project, we saw a lot of mismanagement of funds and taxpayers were complaining, calling for accountability, who manage these projects, they embezzle our money, and they set up an audit committee to evaluate how these projects were run. And you happen to be one of the project managers, they called you to give accountability of how that project runs. The first thing they will ask you is the project charter. Who even authorizes you to run this project? If you don't have project charter, the first thing, you just hand yourself over to them, and so they will tell you how long we are going to stay in the prison. Because you have no authorization to spend public fund, taxpayers, hard-earned taxpayers' money. Are you getting where this is coming from? You know? So you are not just doing them a favor by creating a project charter. You are doing yourself a favor. You are protecting yourself. And that's why in companies, they don't care because they know that if anything happens, you, the project manager. So if you are a project manager and you are running a lot of projects in your company and you are not producing a project charter, and you are thinking, oh, they don't care. You see, when it will happen, you find out that everybody will deny you. Are you getting me? So you have to do the right thing to protect yourself. You don't know where you are going to work. Tomorrow you might get a job in Central Bank as a project manager, and that joy all of a sudden will turn to cry when it happened. Because you see the way they are dragging Sanusi now. It was the no, is it Sanusi? What is the name of the Central Bank Governor of Nigeria, the former Central Bank Governor? You know, Emefiele. He was rejoicing. He was handling a lot of projects. No document, no project charter. He handled so many projects without project charter. Are you getting it now? So nobody, and when it happened, Buhari would deny, I didn't sign that, I didn't know about that project. Are you getting it now? Are you getting my point? You see that Buhari denied a lot of things they did together. They will just tell you, print more money. You run and print. Printing more money is a project. You are printing more money, you say Buhari authorizes you. Is there any project charter that where Buhari or the presidency authorizes for you to do that? If there is, then nobody should drag him, because you are just carrying out an order of your master. But they just give you a call. We want this amount. You just print it and you send it. After all, it's the presidency. Not knowing that that president is not going to be there forever. Now the president is gone. Another president has come. And all the things he has done, there is no authorization from the presidency. And that's why he's going to jail for a very long time after rejoicing of being a central bank governor. So he's now crying because there is no project charter.
Thank you very much, sir.
All right. And we'll have Joy Ekemezie. Then we'll have Kenneth Obonna, and this is where we're heading for tonight. Mohammed Sanusi is it the Sanusi of Central Bank or the Emir of Kano? Which one? Sanusi.
Okay, good evening, everyone. Good evening, Mr. Charles.
Okay.
Yeah, so regarding the softwares you made mention of, so I was wondering, is it the responsibility of the project manager to get the softwares before he commences a project, or is it the responsibility of the company to to provide the softwares for him?
Okay. One thing is that if you do not have that software, you are not going to do your work. And in your company buys everything for you. You don't have to. If you are spending money buying tools or software, it's going to be contained in the terms of agreement. Maybe if you are, even if you are working as a free, depending on, because I've done so many contract roles as project manager and business analyst, and they always provide my software which I use to work. So it's the duty of company to buy all those things. But like some of you that are going to be working as a freelancer, you are self-employed. So it's a contrast. What it means that you have the tools to do your work. So they might not be providing you all these tools. Like now in Nigeria, I know so many of my trainees based in Nigeria are working for companies overseas in America, Canada, Japan, and the rest of them. They are freelancers. Some of them, I don't know, company might buy them, but some of them I know as project manager, project coordinator, they'll just tell you produce this, and that's it. You go and look on how to produce, but they will pay you. People have agreed. And so some of you are working in Upwork, you know what I'm talking about. So it depends on the agreement. But if you are working for companies, based on my experience, you don't need to buy a pin. They'll provide everything. Even the laptop you are going to use, at times they even pay for your internet.
All
Is
right, so
that
that's
clear?
noted. Yes, very
Yeah.
clear. Thank you, sir.
Okay. So I think I've called Joy, but Joy is not here. And thank you, everyone. You think you want us to be waiting for you so that we are in a very fast lane, you know, so you don't keep us waiting. I think
online question.
your network is poor and you seems to be far away from your device.
Bluetooth canceled. Hello, sir. Hello.
Yes.
Okay, sir. My question is just a simple online question, sir. I want to ask, who gives the stipulation for a project? Is it the project manager or the people that hired the project manager?
Stipulation.
Yes, stipulation. Like when they said, "I give this is 3-month project, 5 months." Is it the owner of the project or the project manager that gives a stipulation time?
So why are you using the word stipulation? You know, so the word we're trying to is says project brief, who decide or what to be done is the person that hires you, and they will call the person. If it's a company, you can call it a client or a client or a project sponsor. We'll talk about project sponsor. So it's a project, whoever is sponsoring you. If you are working in a company, whoever is the project sponsor, because in a company we can see maybe in finance department, maybe the finance HOD finance department want to implement this ERP software for the department. So that particular person is the project sponsor. It is the duty of that particular person to source for fund. Sourcing for fund, it means that you need to convince the senior management to release funding for this project. So he's in charge of that project. He owns that project because he's the person bringing the change. So in that organization, he is the finance department HOD is the project sponsor. So he says, so everything will be the way he wants it. because he's the change driver. He's driving the change. If you are going there as a contract, whoever is contracting you, if you are not, is the person that, for instance, if it's wedding project, whoever the bride and the bridegroom will automatically, if they are the person that is financing, if not their parents that is the person financing the wedding. So I cannot say that wider because so many bride and wedding is being bankrolled by some people that the bride and bridegroom did not even know how the wedding was planned. But the point I'm making that whoever contacted you should be, or if it's the HR that is hired you as a contractor, the HR will tell you whom you are working for or who is the main project stakeholder. So it's part of the things, if you do not know, because some people get confused over this, it's part of the stakeholder analysis you are going to do, where you have to identify the key stakeholders and their responsibilities. And to do that, you have to ask questions. Ask questions. You have a line manager. If your line manager don't know, line manager most of the time, maybe senior project manager or program manager. So you find out from them who actually is the key stakeholder, and that is it. Is that sorted?
Yes, sir. Thank you.
So I wonder why some people are still raising their hands, or you want to say that I didn't give you time to talk. Before I start this, I said 8 o'clock, and I said 7:30. And I said that once the other person, I think even before Sanusi raises, I've said that it's going to be Joy is going to be the last person, and Sanusi quickly raised hand. And some people started along, why are you doing that? Or you think I don't know what I'm doing here? And you look at the time, it's already 8:48. And I say I'm going to stop by 8:30, and you are still raising your hands. You don't do that. We are civilized and enlightened people. So thank you for joining. We're now beginning to get deeper into this project management. Every document we are going to discuss is very vital. So if you do not understand very well, ask questions. If you don't reach your turn, go to the platform, drop your question. Even if I do not answer it immediately, I'll still come back to answer it. So, like I said, I know so many of you like collaboration after the class. So going forward, after the class, I'll just stop recording. And if we have created, we can then start collaborating. And that's it. So thank you and see you tomorrow.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Okay.
Thank you, sir. Leave the platform so we interact.
As the collaboration started,